Hi YouTube. I'd like to dedicate this video to my mother that I love and adore very, very much. We talk about the biblical telling of our story and how all this stuff began, but there's other tellings of the story as well. And one of them is known as the story of Cupid and Psyche. And if you've never heard of it, check it out. Cupid would be known as Father God Love. Okay? And Psyche would be known as God, Mother or Mommy Light. And so God and his wife, alright, this is from the TV show Lucifer. So there's Lucifer holding the biblical flaming sword. He just cut a hole into the world, into space-time, and opened up a portal to another dimension, another world, another reality. And that's his mom. That's God's wife right there. Okay, now the TV show will tell the rest of the story.
Bloody hell, it worked. I guess it can cut through anything, even the world itself.
What is that?
It's nothing. At least for now. This is the real way to move forward, Mum. To create a whole new world, your own world, without Father.
What about you? Amanda, you'll make children.
You know that if we go back to heaven, then there will be a war. And in war, there are always casualties.
The last thing I want is hurting children.
I know. So please, let there be light.
And so that's what happened. Mom left Dad. And she left for her creation. She left for us because she wanted to save us, even though she knew that they gave us everything we needed inside to save ourselves. They wanted us to stand up for ourselves. So instead of this naturally doing its thing and running its course, she got cold feet. She came down prematurely, and that's what happened. And so now the demiurge and her ego continually trick her over and over and over again into bailing on her creation and starting another one to fix the problem. So, and sucks to be them, who's ever inside, because there it goes, restart all over again. But her heart's in the right place because she's doing it for us. And the reason that she's doing it over and over again and keeps trying is because she wants to fix it, and it's also for justification for why she left Father. I mean, it's kind of hard to go back if you haven't fixed what you said you were leaving to go do, right? So that's what happened. So this place was created out of fear, out of the absence of love. That's why Satan, the devil, Grim Reaper, Saturn, death, whatever name you want to give it, is depicted as holding a sickle or a scythe or a scythe, however you pronounce it, because it's symbolic of how we are cut off from source love. Earth is even an anagram for heart. It's just one big love story. That's all it is. And, there's no love here. Our heart, our love is tightly locked up in this thing called a rib cage. And then to make it even worse, like that bad Christmas present prank, where your present's wrapped 1,001 times, that's what we've got. We've got a heart locked away in a box, in a cage, and then it's gift wrapped with about 1,000 different layers of communism. If people were told what they needed to hear as opposed to what they wanted to hear, this world would be whole completely different. But there's no love here. We're cut off. So, she says she's learned her lesson. I believe her. I believe in her. And hopefully this is it. And they even say, with the creation stories, that depending on which one you read, there's a bunch, but some of them say we were created through dust and the water vapor of God's mouth. And another one is that the breath of life was breathed through the nostrils. Well, Psyche means breath of life. This is Mommy Light and Father Love. This is the real light and love, not that David Icke nonsense. And you can't have one without the other. We all have a soul, but we need that spark to get that soul going. We've got the light, but we need the gas. We need the fuel, whatever you want to call it. That's when, since they got that new Transformers movie coming out, right? That's what the whole first movie was about, the All-Spark. They're talking about the thing that makes the light, they're talking about the fuel that makes the soul work. The power that lights the light. Just think of it like this. The light's your cell phone, and Jesus, Father, truth, love, whatever you want to call it, is the connection. Yeah, the cell phone's great and all, but it's not useful to you if you can't make the call. So that's the spark. That's why, it's funny that there's not mention of mother, though. Not a whole lot. You got Mother Nature and Mother Earth. And honor thy father and mother, but that's about it. A lot of stuff about the whore and the woman, though. And even Jesus, what'd he say? No one goes to the Father except through me. You notice how he didn't say, no one goes to the father and the mother, right? You know why? Because the mother's not around, she left. We're all light beings. We all have this inside of us. We just can't see it. It's no different than a camera that picks up stuff that the naked eye can't. You're speaking of cell phones and your internet, and most TV or computers now, and most of your TVs are hooked up to the internet. They are connected to something, you just can't see it. Our brains, our souls, our lights are connected to something. Our hearts are connected to something. We just can't see it. That's all. We are light beings. We are told things are light years away. This whole thing, this whole place is based around light. You have a body temperature. That's heat. Heat is light. That's your soul. And so we're running around. It's where all these interactions and drama and all this stuff with people comes into play. Because everyone has, well, except for the terrors and these other creations that aren't us, that look like us, that are walking around us. But that's a whole other video for another day. But that's all this is just one big suck fest of everyone sucking off each other's light. And all this stuff just is very personal to me, because I've never really told many people this stuff. Just a couple people I've mentioned this to. But since we're on the subject, why not? Whenever I was, and I've never brought this up to my mom since, and I've thought about it a couple times, but I don't think she'd probably get weirded out by it, and she wouldn't like my answer of why I'm asking, or why am I wondering about that, so I don't bring it up. Maybe I will someday, though, but whenever I was really, really young, young enough to where she was giving me a bath still, and I don't remember what I did yesterday, but I remember this like it happened yesterday. I remember all the details clear as day. But I was so young, super young, I don't remember exactly how old, but young enough she was still giving me a bath. I remember standing outside of the tub. I remember her drying me off, and all of a sudden I had like this weird brain flash. I don't know how to say it other than that. And I looked right at her and I said, "Are you sure you're my mom? Because you don't look like her." And she gave me, of course, as you can imagine, a very weird look, but didn't say anything and went right back to drying me off, which I think is weird in itself. So I'm just saying that because I remember having a mom before the one that was given to me here. I remember one before her. It's funny, too, because you have that movie, The Crow. Oh, one of the greatest movies ever made, and one of the best scenes in that movie. If you've never heard of the movie, guy and a girl, it's a love story. They're murdered. The dude comes back from the dead for vengeance on the people that murdered him and his girlfriend. Well, he also makes friends with this teenage girl who's running around on the streets doing her own thing because her mom's not around because she's a junkie, and her father ran out because he's a junkie. But anyway, this guy, Brandon Lee, comes back from the dead, breaks into where this mom's doing drugs, grabs her out of the bedroom, takes her in the bathroom, puts her in front of the mirror, makes her look at herself and says, "Mother is the name for God on the lips and hearts of all children." So, it's true. The real love and light, mother and the father. So, we all have it. And why don't you just listen to Roseanne, because I think she says it best. So, thanks to my mother, thanks to my father, thanks to my subscribers.
We're not bodies with souls. We are souls with